everybody, it's me, Maria Young at My Orchid Adventures, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode. So in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to show you all of the happenings that's going on in my garden. Definitely what's blooming in April as of right now. So let's go ahead and get the blooming party started now. And we're gonna get this blooming party started with a bang, bang, and a bang, 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 bang. Okay, this is one of my most favorites. This is my Cindy Banks Bill's Choice right here, and I've spoken to you guys several times about this magnificently beautiful orchid right here, and now I can showcase to you exactly why I think she is so fabulous. And even though she is blooming so magnificently and very, very beautiful, I would like to note that she just came into bloom. So as you guys know, within about a week's time, there's many changes that can go on within the blossoms, from the fragrance to the size and also to the color of the blossom as well. So with that in mind, I do want to note that this right here, the background, will actually change to a greener color. So let's take a look at the very bold, very expressive pattern that she has, which is a leopard spotted pattern in that very, very dark purple. Also, if we note right here in the background again, right now she is a bright or a very light pastel green, somewhat of a sherbet lime green in the background. And if we take a look right here, one of my favorite parts about this orchid, check out those stripes and striations in this orchid right here. Look at that throat. Ah, what a wonderful pattern, and definitely quite a nice contrast to the white and the purple. Also, if we take a look at that lip, you are seeing that raspberry fuchsia color right there. Very, very beautiful. And eventually, within time, about a week, like I said, the background will form into a greener color. So definitely quite a bold, very expressive orchid right here, as you can see. And also another factor about this orchid, which is quite a delight to me, is its very strong fragrance, which gives a grape scented fragrance. So very unique, very bold, very expressive, and is why this is one of my favorite orchids. And here's some fantastic news on my other Cindy Banks right here. If we take a look, you can see within her leaves that yes indeed, she too is spiking. So we're going to have some more Cindy Banks blooms coming our way. I am so excited. And another orchid that is in bloom right now is this Epiphylla Cattleya Jackie Bright Hilo Stars. And the highlight of this orchid right here is the fact that it can bloom quite a beautiful cluster of medium-sized blossoms, and normally you'll have about 4 to 5 within each cluster. And what I love most about these blooms is definitely the very orangey yellowish color that is almost fluorescent. The colors are so rich, so bright, and so vibrant on this orchid right here. And the petals are actually pretty sturdy. I mean, it has quite a consistency and very durable. Definitely love that. So when the wind blows, we don't have to worry so much that the blooms will become damaged. Indeed, quite a sturdy blossom. And another thing that I love is the fact that in the throat area, you're going to see that nice splash of raspberry fuchsia color right there, almost as if paint has splashed right in the center of this blossom. Definitely, again, a beautiful, very vibrant, colorful, and very tropical bloom on this Cattleya. Now let's take a look at the Grammatophyllum right here. Now these Grammatophyllums right here are so fabulous in the fact that they can give quite an abundant amount of blossoms, countless of blossoms as a matter of fact, because the spike can actually reach up to about 5 feet long. How incredible is that? But I will have to admit, I had quite a mishap with this orchid right here. As you can see going down her spike, many of those blooms did bud blast, and this was the culprit right here. too much sun exposure. As you can see, she did get burned quite severely. And unfortunately, my second Grammatophyllum also experienced the same effect as well. If we take a look at the spike, you can see here there's many that have yellowed, and indeed they're about to blast. And looking at the second spike as well, you are seeing the same effect here also. Very unfortunate thing, but I am very happy to still be able to see some of the beautiful blooms. And speaking of beautiful blooms, let's go ahead and take a close-up on this bloom. As you can see, it's heavily patterned right here with a camouflage army pattern. Indeed, definitely a very bold pattern in this orchid right here. And you're also seeing a coloration of white right here in the center of this tongue. And deep within the throat area as well, you are noting on those striations, those beautiful, beautiful stripes that indeed gives quite a unique appeal to this orchid. Very beautiful, very tropical, and very rainforest wild type of orchid. Indeed, I love the coloration and the beauty of this very unique, very beautiful orchid. Let's take a look at this beautifully mounted Vandaceous orchid right here, also known as the Oscasenda rumrel. And if we take a close look at this beautiful, very compact and dainty bloom right here, you are going to notice the very beautiful reddish orange color on the petals and also on the sepals. And if you take a look at the tongue right here, very, very rich in color, you are seeing a reddish raspberry color on that fabulous tongue right there. And as you notice, look at that, a forked tongue right there. You can see that ribbon cutting on that tongue, so very distinctive, and it does stand out on this orchid. And even though this orchid right here is quite compact and miniature, this can actually clump up and become a specimen size on you as well. So definitely, what a great orchid right here, and a very beautiful, very rich colored bloom on this Oscasenda rumrel. And if you've been following me for quite some time, you will remember this orchid right here because we indeed go way, way back. This is actually an orchid that I did discover at a garage sale, and I think I got her for about $10, and she was very huge and very beautiful, very magnificent orchid. Really got her at a great deal, but unfortunately we did have quite a mishap on her. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but I will do it on a later video. But indeed, this is the Encyclia cordigera coming into bloom. Definitely, she is a worthwhile orchid. I have to tell you, this is one of the most amazing fragrant orchids right here, smelling much like a rose and a chocolate scent combined together, if you can imagine how scrumptious and how yummy that fragrance is. Ooh, smells so good. And definitely, she is a regal, very royal looking orchid right here. She really envisions and embodies a queen to me. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at her fabulous bloom. And taking a close look at this beautiful bloom, you will see the very rich colors in this orchid. You are noting on that very deep burgundy raspberry color on the actual petals and the sepals. And as we come down to her skirt or her tongue right here, very beautiful in coloration, as well as it is a pastel fuchsia color right here. And look at the petals and the sepals. Are you noticing all of those curves on this gal? She is quite a curvy, fabulous gal. And if we take a closer look at that skirt, oh my, what a very bodacious tongue on this gal, if I do say so myself. If we take that close look, you are noticing all of those tiny, tiny stripings in her tongue, quite a veining on her. And if you take a close look also in the center, you're noticing that very distinctive, very dark fuchsia stripes right there as well. Definitely a fabulous feature on this orchid. Gorgeous color, fabulous formation, and exquisite fragrance. Indeed, this is such an orchid that is truly worthwhile to have. And my friendly garden pet right here, he does concur. And let's take a look at a Vanda that was $29.98, then discounted to $15, and then discounted again to $8.99 because I definitely did not expect this one to bloom. And here he is. As you can see, if we take a look at the foliage, it's not so great, but indeed he is showing that he is well capable of recovering and still blooming so beautifully. And here's yet another blooming delight hanging way up in my tree. We're actually going to have to take her down to get a closer view. But before we do, let's go ahead and take a close look at her fabulous root system right here. That is so long. This actually extends down to about 3 feet long. As a matter of fact, what a fabulous root system. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at her right now. And here she is, folks, quite a beautiful tessellated gal. She is known as the Tessellata India variety. And if we further look at the petals and the sepals on this orchid, you definitely are going to see the curvatures that I do love and adore so much. Such a great feature and form on this blossom. The colors that you will notice in this orchid blossom is the greenish yellowish background, and then you're going to see the brownish orange color in the tessellation within the petals. Such a great color combination along with this fuchsia pink lip right here. Indeed, look at that. Such a beautiful orchid. And one of the greatest features on this orchid is indeed it is fragrant, but fragrant uniquely with a root beer scent. How amazing is that? An amazing feature on this orchid is the way that the roots grow throughout the entire orchid itself. And then you're going to also see the winding, curving nature of this orchid, indeed showcasing the fact that this orchid loves to creep and crawl on whatever it can attach itself to. This is also an orchid that is known to be quite a baby maker, so don't be surprised if you happen to see a lot of babies that begin to form. But my most beloved feature of this orchid is the fact that she can bloom multiple spikes at one time. You are seeing 1 and 2 spikes right here, and there's also 3 more nubbins that are beginning to form. So yes, indeed, she has quite a spectacular blooming habit. And here we have the beautiful bloom coming from the Dendrobium Frosty Dawn. The very first thing that you are going to notice on this beautiful orchid right here is the spectacular color combination. You are going to notice on the lip and the throat area that very beautiful bright red color. Also on the petals and the sepals, you are going to notice that white background, but then you're going to notice that very lime green veining in there as well. Again, giving this orchid quite an amazing bloom color combination. And also note that this orchid can bloom for quite a long time, sometimes noted to bloom for about 3 months. So you are going to get your money's worth on this Frosty Dawn. And right here, folks, is my very first Laturia orchid coming into bloom. This is my Dendrobium normanbiense. This type of species, Laturia right here, is known for being a compact orchid. One of the greatest features of the blooms, as you will see, it is very bold in its coloration and also in its formation. If we take a look at the bloom right here, you'll actually see the winged formation of the petals right here. And also you're noticing those spottings, those dark brownish greenish spottings in the blossoms. And also you're noticing that white backdrop or background of color. And then you're going to notice that light, very pastel lime green also intertwined in there as well. And if we take a close look at the actual lip and throat area, you are going to notice on the rim of this opening that very nice fuchsia color. And if you look inside, you're going to notice that very deep burgundy striping along with some green background in there as well. So very bold, very courageous orchid right here, and very unique in its appearance. Great color combination, and indeed is one of my favorite Laturias. But let me not forget to mention this other blooming Latouria right here, which is also a compact orchid. This is a hybrid known as the Nano Chip. This is crossed with a Dendrobium aberrans and also a microchip. And the amazing thing about these blooms, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I definitely always get the feel of little puppy dogs. And let's take a closer look just to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, folks, so is it just me? Come on. Can you see that little puppy dog? Definitely with the two ears right here and also right there. And then look at that, look at that. Even in the center, that's its little tongue. Oh my gosh, just ready to lick you with love. And these are the two little feet and of course the mane of the little puppy dog. It's a furry little puppy. So indeed, come on folks, please say you see it. I'm not going crazy, but indeed, this is what the blooms remind me of. Very unique shape in bloom. Definitely does not look like a dendrobium to me, and I just love it. I think it's so adorable. The colors on this is white, and also you're noticing that flush of very faint pink or a purplish color, I guess you could say, right there as well. It looks like it's been sprayed with some spray paint, just a tinge on the tip of the petals. And the way this orchid blooms is at the very top, in between the two leaves right here, and you're going to notice that very string-like spike right here that definitely has a nice cascading effect with multiple blooms, and this is known to have multiple spikes throughout and can be free flowering throughout the year. So indeed, a lot of bang for your buck with these Latourias, and definitely very beautiful. And the most amazing blooming orchid right now in my garden is this Maxillaria tenafolia. And as you can see throughout her entire plant, she is completely littered with blooms, blooms galore. And I have to tell you, the blooms are so intoxicating. As soon as I step outside into my backyard, I can smell it. Oh my goodness. So tropical, so fragrant, smelling like roasted coconut, and quite scrumptious if I do say so myself. I always have such a cravings for some coconut cookies after I smell this orchid. So fabulous right here, this Maxillaria tenafolia. And as you can see, quite exquisite, fragrant blooms. And that's it, and that's all folks for this blooming tour. I sure do hope you liked this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it 2 green thumbs up. And of course, if you guys want to stay tuned to the latest and greatest of my orchid adventures, please be sure to subscribe. Also want to let you guys know that I am on Facebook, so join me there as well at My Orchid Adventures. And if you guys want to write me or send me something, you can do that as well at the following address, like right there. You see it, right? Well, that's it folks, and I thank you guys so much, and I sure do appreciate you joining here with me. And as you guys already know, I do truly love you guys all. Mwah, 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 and